Jalen Brunson is having an absolutely historic playoff run, and we have to talk about it, break down why this is happening, and just really speculate on what is going to happen in the future. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. I'm in a Yankee jersey right now. So let's jump right into this video, because Jalen Brunson is doing something historic. He has been one of the most clutch players in the NBA, along with just one of the best players in the NBA. According to Tommy Beer, the total points scored in the clutch, so the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime when the score is within 5 points, the 76ers lead with 53 because they were always in close games with the Knicks. Then second is Jalen Brunson. He has more clutch points than every team other than the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't know how that's humanly possible. Like, genuinely. This guy has been so good. Like, it's truly absurd how good Jalen Brunson's going to be and where he's going from here and what's going on with the Knicks. And I don't just want to give you guys some video of 8 minutes of me just repeating the fact that Jalen Brunson's good. So I figured I'm going to put a little bit of a twist on this video. Essentially, I want to kind of discuss with you guys, what do we think is going to happen in the future? Can Jalen Brunson keep this run up? Is he going to get better next season? Is Jalen Brunson going to be a future NBA MVP? Now, he's 27 years old. He's hitting the prime of his NBA career, clearly, and he has done everything for the New York Knicks because he's had to do that this season. The New York Knicks have basically lost their entire starting front court due to an injury, at least the guys who would be starting initially, like Mitchell Robinson, though Hartenstein's now starting. Luckily, OG Anunoby did come back, but there has been so many injuries, whether it was OG dealing with the injuries, or Randall being out for the season, or Mitch being out for the season 2 different times, or Bojan Bogdanovic getting 2 different surgeries. The Knicks have been riddled with injuries. The Nova Knicks stepped up, all 3 of them. But, I mean, dude, Jalen Brunson has been absolutely absurd. He's the first player in NBA history to post at least 40 points and 5 assists in 4 straight playoff games. He's the first player in NBA history to record at least 39 points on at least 45% shooting in 5 straight playoff games. He's the first player in NBA history to average 40 points and 9 assists over a 5-game playoff span. He's the 5th player in NBA history to record 30-plus points and 5-plus assists in consecutive playoff games, joining Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, all of whom by many are regarded as top 15 players. Jordan and LeBron, no matter who you want to put first or second, are easily the 2 best players in NBA history. There's no argument about it. Oscar and Kobe, both somewhere in that 10 to 15 range. Brunson's 210 points over his last 5 games is the most anyone has scored in a 5-game playoff span since Michael Jordan in 1993. Like, with what he's doing right now, with the fact that he's still new to NBA stardom, where are we going to see Jalen Brunson go as the future goes on? Like, when it comes to this playoffs, which we have to enjoy right now, despite the injuries, despite the fact that we know the Knicks probably won't be winning the NBA Finals, there's no reason to not have so much fun with this playoff run right now. I've said it so many times, whenever the Knicks win a game, like when they won Game 1 against the Pacers, when they win Game 2 tonight against the Pacers, it's like, I'd be like, oh, 5 down, 11 to go, because they need that many more games to win the finals. When they win tonight against the Pacers, it'll be, 6 down, 10 to go. And I'm just going to keep doing it because it's fun. Most people my age, in that I'm 22 years old. I turned 23 in a month. Most people in my age, or my age group, so like 20 to 25, don't have memories in high school or college, really, of the Knicks being in the playoffs. Like, last year was the only time since 7th grade, when I was in 7th grade, that the Knicks made it out of the first round, and they were only in the playoffs one other time from my high school years through my college years. I saw the Knicks go to the second round in 2013 when I was in 7th grade, when I was 12 years old. The next time I saw that, I was 21. I'm 22 years old right now. I've seen the Knicks as like a lucid human being, so not when I'm like 4. Like, as an actual lucid human being, I've seen the Knicks win 2 playoff series. 2! And one of them is due to Carmelo Anthony, who is undoubtedly, in my mind, the 3rd greatest Knick of all time. And the other one is Jalen Brunson, who's now done it twice. So, really 3. I also It's hard to count when you're 12 years old watching the playoffs. But, like, I think Jalen Brunson, if he does this next season, if the Knicks go to the second round again, I think he's going to be widely regarded as already better than Carmelo Anthony was with the Knicks. And is that fully Melo's fault? No. The man had terrible teammates and Brunson didn't, but you can't penalize Jalen Brunson for having competent management. I think he's a playoff series winner, a conference finals, which the Knicks are probably going to make. That could make him better than Carmelo Anthony. We're looking at a guy who has potential to be the greatest Knick of all time. If he wins an NBA Finals in the modern era, where there's 30 NBA teams and a three-point line, something that was not the case the last time the Knicks won the Finals in 1973, excuse me, there is an excellent argument that Jalen Brunson is the greatest Knick of all time. And again, I don't just want to keep saying, oh, Brunson's good at basketball. But when you look at it, he has 55 more points scored. Now this is different because Donovan Mitchell played, and I took this screenshot before the game yesterday. But he's got more points than any single player in the playoffs right now. He's got more points per game by over 3, which is absurd. And when you look at his stats, when you look at all this, the playoff stats, that is, we've seen this coming. We saw this happen in Dallas. We saw him get better in New York. And now we're watching the man average 36.6 points per game in the NBA playoffs. Not only is Jalen Brunson doing this while leading the Knicks offense, he is the Knicks offense. I'm curious, guys. Again, another question. I want to get this video to be like an engaging video. Comment down below. We're going to have some discourse on this. Like, is Jalen Brunson going to burn out being the entire Knicks offense? Is he just going to keep going? When was there a single player playoff run that didn't lead to an NBA Finals that was this impressive? Multiple rounds in, you're absolutely cooking. You're leading the league in playoff points per game. You're averaging 36 of those, almost 37. His over-under for tonight's game is 37.5 points in the NBA playoffs. The guy is 6'1". You know how absurd that is? What we're seeing right now is something that we've never seen before as Knicks fans. We're seeing a point guard who is more dominant at scoring the basketball than any other point guard in the NBA outside of maybe Luka and Shea, and look who leads in playoff points and playoff points per game. Which begs another question. Is Jalen Brunson the best point guard in the NBA? It's time we ask. We're seeing Luka kind of burn out from these 44 minutes per game. Maybe Brunson's soon behind. We've seen Shea and the Thunder. Well, the Thunder just have a stacked-up team. Shout out to them for doing everything perfectly. So Shea doesn't need to score 36 points per game like Brunson does. But is Brunson better? There's an argument. This was the guy who said he didn't come here to be the New York Knicks savior, and he absolutely was, dude. And a Tommy Beer tweet, Jalen Brunson's the first and only player in NBA history to score 39-plus points while shooting above 45% in 5 straight playoff games. As he says, first, only ever. Think about how many great scorers we've seen. No one has ever done what Brunson is doing. Jalen Brunson is having a historic run in these playoffs. This means more than just Brunson's good. This means superstars, star players, people who want out of their team are going to flock to the New York Knicks. Anyone who wants to chase a ring at an older age, if the Knicks need a veteran off the bench, they are going to sign with the New York Knicks. Any star who wants out is going to be like, yeah, dude, I totally want to play with Jalen Brunson. Absolutely. And that Knicks culture, that winning culture, I want to play with that. When is the last time we could have said that as Knicks fans? This is absurd. And it's because of him. Also, Julius Randle for starting the wave of having good players come to the Knicks when he made the All-Star team and led them to the playoffs and all. So shout out Julius also. But, like, it's Brunson, dude. This is absurd. I don't even know what to say at this point. Jalen Brunson is probably the greatest Knick of many of our lifetimes. If you were born post-Ewing, I think it's time to say that he's going to pass Melo. He's going to. He hasn't yet, but he's going to. And that's absurd. I can't wait to see what the future holds. Comment your thoughts down below. Are the Knicks winning a finals in the next 3 years? I kind of think they are. I mean, they're going to get better. They're going to get healthier. They're going to add more talent to this roster when someone asks out. I don't know who that's going to be, but the Knicks have one of the most enticing trade packages for him. Guys, leave your comments down below. At some point, we just had to make a video shouting Brunson out for all the work he's done. Thank you to Jalen Brunson. Also, shout out to his uncle, who was just cool, who I sat next to at a Knicks game once. Have a great day, guys. Go Knicks.